Hi folks, right back to the oil painting, the oily oil painting. Just move these colours here. I'm using Payne's Grey, Ultramarine, Cadmium, no not Cadmium, Cadmium Yellow, possibly Cadmium Red for sky, but I want to get a bit of a landscape in, and I'm not sure where I'm going with this, as usual. Now, these cheap brushes I bought a couple of months ago now. They're very sort of hairy, very thin. They're good for what we're using them for, but they're not very good quality for masterpieces. But what I've been doing with them is giving them a bit of a haircut. When the bristles wear out around here, they go a bit spiky, so I just snip them off, just so they live again. So that was a very spiky brush, but it's quite nice now. I've got to use it. So I've got some oil, some linseed oil, and I've added a bit of dryer to it. So we'll mix that all up nicely, a bit of red. Now, you don't want it too thin, because otherwise the oil will run down, as it has on one of my other paintings. The weather is very wet in the UK at the moment, very damp. I would say it was winter, but it's not cold. Oh, I need some sap green. But it's because I haven't got any heat in my loft room here. I have got heat I can add. I've got a halogen heater, and I've got one that works off the boiler, but it gets a lot of air in it over the summer, and try to bleed it and get it going. It's only on when the water's hot, so I can got the heat coming up from 2 floors down from the boiler. Right, let's add a bit of green. I might even put in some water in this. I don't know where we're going to go with it. We'll just play around with it for a minute. Now, for fear of repeating myself, but if you look at landscape, it basically is red and green. It sounds obvious, but until you observe it for yourself, instead of looking for all the complications in the landscape, and how do you put this bit of detail in, but the idea of all this, of course, is not to try to detail, just scrape out graffiti. I think that's what it's called, when you lift out. Oh, that's kind of, we might have a couple of puddles. Oh, let's get a bit of dark, bit of Payne's Grey. After this, I'm going to do one on watercolour paper, but I'm going to do that for my friends on Patreon. Let's got some dark there, so we can counter change. Don't want this up too high. The picture was in this frame. I've taken out. That's the one that's not drying. Oh, this is such fun. The star. Not knowing where you're going, but you have some idea, but. So just this brush here. Right. Okay, so we've got a nice bush there. We can lift out. The paint is quite heavy there. Bit of red in it. Okay. Do you know, I like that as it is. Quite incredible, really. I'll put a bit to balance the other side. I won't even, well, we'll see. Let's see what happens. If anytime you don't like what you've done, just rub it off with a bit of towel, kitchen towel. Plenty of paint's grey in that. I'll put a bit of red. Silhouette. Leave a bit of sparkle in it. Right, now we'll put in a bit of dark green in the foreground. Bit of shadow in there. Right, let's take a bit of tissue. So you can see the water where the oil is. Where the oil is running down, but I'll be taking some of that off. The board is 24 inches by 20 inches by 24. It's had one coat of, I've rubbed it down, it's 3mm MDF. Right. Bit of shadow in there. Let's get that over the top here. I'll do a bit of sky in a minute. Try to show the shape of the ground here. Let's cover up some of that. Bit of red in there. Alright, let's clean the brush, find another cloth. Just clean the bristles in the towel. Now, what are we going to do about that sky? So now, that brush is more or less clean. We'll have a bit of dramatics. Well, I don't know, you don't want a dark sky and a dark landscape. I haven't finished this yet. I want to put a bit of texture in there. But well, we'll see how we go. Let's get a bit of ultramarine, bit of red, bit of my blue is a bit dry. Let's pull that up there. Don't want it falling down. Well, there's a darker overhead, so a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of that cad red. You can use whatever colours you want, but the oh, I've got a cup of green tea here. Just try to get some cloud overhead. Now when they're darker on the top, so more Payne's grey. I can blend all this. Okay, dry the brush a bit, or clean it off. And put in some lighter colour. I'm using a bit of ochre, a bit of cad red, and a lump of white, plenty of medium. Ooh, no, that's too ochre-y. Quite thick, this white. I'm painting down to that grass and shrubbery. Okay, do the other side now. Going to have to put out a bit more white and a bit. It's not neat. It's mixed with a bit of yellow ochre and cad red. Bit of provided you don't over fuss the sky, they're quite easy to do and you get used to them. You develop a repertoire of nice memories of skies that actually went well, and you only have to look out the window to get a sky. That's what I do. Let's have a bit of cloud in there. A bit of life in it. Just clean off my white area. Right. I've got a couple of SD cards, 16s, that are fast, so that I can be uploading one downstairs on my new computer and then working on the new one while the other one's uploading. Now these will take about half an hour to upload. Right, get some blue. I'm going to have a spend up soon on some blue and some Payne's grey. A bit more, that's the dryer, Artisan Winsor & Newton fast drying medium. Just to drop a few drops in my linseed and it helps it along. I've always loved skies. My ambition when I started painting was to be able to, well, paint a passable watercolour, but it took me a long time. I didn't have the resources that you've got now. There's the odd videotape, and mostly books where a lot of the pictures were black and white, which is pretty useless. Right, I'm going to use this brush and use it as a waffler. So I get everything soft, because clouds are soft. Then we can add to it. You see what's happening, like it's running. I'll put a bit of light back in there. See, these cheap brushes, they're good really, they do a lot of donkey work for next to nothing. But it's just a light touch. Same with the hake, when you're working on watercolours, keep everything, the brush strokes nice and soft. Let's get something, a bit of a different colour here. Watched a super documentary on BBC last night. It's a Fake or Fortune. I made a mention of it on YouTube, on the comments of my yesterday's one. It's Fiona Bruce and Philip Mould. Philip Mould is an art dealer, very popular, hugely popular on the Antiques Roadshow on Sundays when he's on. International art dealer, he's got his own gallery in London, and he's an expert on painting, obviously. And an American guy bought a Constable sketch seascape. It was on, I think it was on a full imperial piece of watercolour paper, and he wanted to know whether it was the real thing. So it was all tested and everything, but it was the estimate. Well, you never know in auction, do you? For between probably anything from $300,000 to $1 million, and he paid, I think, £40,000 for it. Well, there we go, that's the sky. That's a little bit disconnected there with the sun, so change the shape of that a little bit. Right, now we'll go back with these. Get their contrast back. It's all about contrast, light against dark. Do a bit of red. Okay, let's do a bit of foreground. Let's lift out some of this here. Take up some of that, some of those runs. Try to avoid patterns in this. You don't notice it, but I'm looking at the screen from time to time just to see if I can see what I can't see at the moment by just looking at it. Okay. Keep cleaning your brush just so that it will take off the paint. And I've used 2 coats of emulsion over the gesso, and I've sanded in between coats except the last coat so that it will scrape off. If you've got a tooth on the board, like quite rough, it won't, you won't be able to scrape back to the white. Alright, now I'm going to use a bit of tissue, I think, because I've already got the makings of some light trunks in there, so let's just use a bit of this. I might put some more texture in the foreground. It's creating detail, isn't it, without actually naming stuff. Oh, it's quite thick there. Well, I'm leaving that. I like that. Now that's not scraping off, mainly because I've got quite thick paint on there. Got to do a bit of work on that path. Alright, a good bit of tissue, just smash it up a bit. Just give it a bit of a whack. It's taking a bit off, not a lot. Right, okay. Might put a bit of a bush in here. Let's just see what we can do with that path. Bit of ochre, bit of red, bit of Payne's grey, I think. Okay. I think maybe a bit of a hard bush in there maybe. Let's have a look, see. Okay, I'll put that in the frame. Finish my tea. Right, take this off of here. Oh, it just fits. Right. Just for one on each side, just to hold it fairly flat. Okay, that'll do. Well, there we are. I think we've got a nice little painting there. That's just a little bit too even there now. There's just a bit of. Okay, now I think what I like about this one, I'm not going to do anything more to the sky, is the introduction of poor Payne's Grey really. Payne's Grey, a bit of blue. It gives a depth, but it's got some weight. Right, I'm going to move the camera back, so bear with me while I do the housework. I've got to come quite a way back because it's not the zoom doesn't go right in as I would like. But there we are. Take a photograph of it, post it to my email, and upload it into my quick access. Oh, there we are. I'm not putting anything in the focal point. It's obvious where the focal point is. I'm going to leave that. I think I like that as it is. I like the starkness of it. It looks like there's a load of detail in it, but there isn't. You see how easy these things are. It all comes with observation. As you see what I've done, you think, well, that's not quite right. But then you go out and you'll see something like it. And you'll memorise it. It's funny how that happens. You get more observant as you do more landscape. You find things to put in that you didn't notice before, mundane things. But anyway, that's what I think. You can let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.